I received the Gold Probe Award last year for my service to the AEA. I've been on the board of AEA for about 15, 20 years now. Long time. I am a CPE. You know what a CPE is?
Yes.
And I was one of the original people. I took the first CPE test that was given. And I think that was like 15 years ago, 20 years ago. The first test that was ever given. I took that.
So you are
wait
the
a second.
first. You are the first CP.
Not in the, I was one of those people that took the first
exam.
test, and I think we were about 50, 60 people. And of course, I passed,
yes.
and I passed it. All right.
Yeah, of course.
But I just realized I was still living in New York, so it was probably 35 years ago. About 30 years ago that I took the test. I'm just trying to think. All right, stop. Cindy, when was the first CPE test given? Do you know? It's about 25 years. All right.
25 лет назад первый экзамен CPE был.
All right. So it was over 25 years ago. So I took the first test. All right. I practiced in New York for 5 years, and then I moved to Portland, Oregon, and have been practicing there. I was on the State Health Advisory Committee for electrolysis. All right. I also am a proctor for the state practical test for electrolysis. So I'm very active.
Yes, you are well. Can I ask you about your age?
My age?
Yes.
I am 74 years old.
74. Impossible.
I was born in 1945.
No, you are kidding. No.
I could.
Well, I'm older than you because I cannot see it.
Birth date 12/19/1945.
Yes. Okay.
That means that I will be 74 in 2 months.
Yeah, I'm not an electrologist, so I cannot
You can't
see it.
Contact lenses.
Okay, this is your secret. Okay,
Yes.
and what is the secret of good looking?
Am I being recorded?
Yes.
Stop. With who? It's genetics. My mother had really good skin too.
Okay, you've been practicing electrolysis for how many years?
33.
33. Okay. I think you know everything.
I know a lot. Yes.
What are you doing here?
All right. First of all, being a CPE, I must have 75 clock hours of continuing education to keep my certification of CPE. For the state of Oregon, I must have 8 continuing education hours every year. So even though I know it, I still have to go and learn.
And
now,
do you think it's a good idea?
Yes, I do. Now, there are certain things to me. Now, I know everything Clement said because I bought his first machine and kept upgrading it to the.
You mean you've been using Apple since first machine and until the very
latest,
last,
the XL Pro.
Okay.
Now, every time I come to a lecture, you always learn something that you took for granted or something that you thought about, but when it's repeated, you learn.
Yes.
All right. Now, there was a lecture today that everybody thought was wonderful. It was on your business and how to answer your phone and how to, do business. She was wonderful. I wouldn't have such a thriving business if I wasn't doing everything she said. All right? And nothing she said was wrong. Everything was right. I was a little bored because I'm doing it. But in order to get continuing ed, I have to be sitting here. So it's a repeat. But every time there's a repeat, you learn something. Now, there was a lecture this morning on insurance and legality things. And again, being in practice for so long, listening to her, I was saying, oh, wow, my financial planner is putting us in the right direction. Our insurance guy, I have the right insurance. My CPA who does our taxes and everything, hey, we're doing everything right. So it just reconfirms that what I'm doing is right. And it makes me feel better as a person that not only am I doing everything according to law, but I'm doing it right. And so that's why these courses are great.
It's really important to share the experience.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Every time you know something new.
You think you know what you're doing, and then you say, oh, wow, I learned something today,
Well, maybe you can tell us some funny story with client, with treatment, with something from your practice.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a funny story. Okay, this isn't funny, but to me it was funny. All right, I happen to be Jewish. I don't know if you know or not know. This person comes in and, we would, in the consultation, it came up, and I said, I'm Jewish. And she said, I can't go to you. I said, okay, fine. So she went to Sheila Ahern, who's here too, and she goes to Sheila, who I believe she's Presbyterian or Catholic or whatever. And this person says, I went to that Jamie Bloom, and do you know she's Jewish? I can't go to a Jewish person. And Sheila said, then I can't treat you either. And so, that's the only funny story I can think of.
It's strange to hear this in America.
And this happened about 10, 15 years ago. So it was a long time back. Truthfully, I am not prejudiced in any way, shape, or form. I have black clients, I have Asian clients, I have whites, black, purple, yellow. To me, people are people.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Let me just one thing I want to show. This. Yeah,
you can buy that at the Ways and Means Committee.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. They have plenty of them.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Jamie.
For work, a lot of people, a lot of the schools say you should wear a white lab coat so that you look more professional.
Yeah, like a doctor.
Right. I did for a while, but I found it very constricting. On the other hand, at the Ways and Means booth, they have T-shirts that say electrolysis, or one is, sparkles electrologist, that's black. Then they have a pink one and a teal blue one that says electrologist on the side with a V-neck. I find I wear them as my uniform. And it saves my clothes, because that's what I wear for work. And I have many. And so what I'll do is 1 week I'll wear only my black ones. And 1 week I'll only, And so what happens there, my people don't see me in the exact same color, because if I change colors every day, I can see somebody coming in seeing me in the same black shirt and saying, "Oh, doesn't she ever wash?" So that's what I wear. I find it's really important that you give a very clean, sterile appearance. Like, I wouldn't go in if my hair was all messy or I looked, I try and look presentable. That doesn't mean you need makeup. It just means you have to give the appearance of being clean and well-groomed.
Yes, and it looks really professional when you have a T-shirt with the name electrologist.
Right. Yeah,
Even if it's black or pink.
Right. On the other hand, I know a lot of the schools. I know the school in Portland says you have to wear a white lab coat. Hey, there are black lab coats. But, and I find when you go to hospitals now, the nurses aren't always wearing white lab coats, but they are wearing a top that looks like that's what they wear as a uniform.
Great. So, thank you very much, Jamie.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Enjoy being in the United States.
Thank you. Wonderful country.
All right.
We are amazed, and this convention is really great.
And again, as I said, yes, I've been doing it a long time. Yes, I know a lot, but you always learn something.
Yes.
Always.
Yes, sure.